96.3, the heart of Geelong, Werribee and the Surf Coast. And turning the spotlight on baseball now, and the Baycats baseball will shortly be in action as the new summer season kicks off. And the president of the club, Adam Renouf, joins me right now. Adam, thanks very much for joining me on The Big Picture in Sport. It's great to have you on board.
Oh, thanks, Wiz. I really appreciate your time.
Now, let's go right back to ground zero and give you the opportunity to tell my listening audience just a little bit about Baycats baseball, how long you've been around, and just what the club is comprised of.
Oh, fantastic. No, thank you for the opportunity. Well, we're obviously fairly biased. We think we do a great job. And actually last year was our 40th birthday. So we're the Geelong Baseball Club's been around for a long time. And we're probably... We're the combination of the winter clubs, I suppose, are the easiest description. The Geelong Baseball Association plays over winter once we get to summer. So effectively, we'll start the weekend after the AFL Grand Final, and we go all the way through then basically to March. And that's where the Baycats come together. So that's the Geelong Baseball Club overall, and where we play in the Premier League in the number one competition in Melbourne. So we play Blackburn, Essendon, all the way out to Berwick, Upper Ferntree Gully. So it's a really, really good competition. We have 4 men's teams, 4 senior men's, 1 senior women's team, 3 under 16s, 2 under 14s, 2 under 12s, and about 100 kids beneath that from T-ball. And they play in our domestic competition there on a Wednesday night. So, lots of young bodies and lots of not so young bodies, and we think we do a pretty good job.
I think that's one of the great things about community sport is that it typically offers an opportunity for players of all ability levels and ages, and no doubt that's the case with the Baycats.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm glad you actually said that. We're actually implementing an all abilities program this year as well, and we've been very supported by the Winter Club and Association allowing us to do that. But men, women, children, doesn't matter. Come one, come all. And even though when we say senior men's sides, it's in the senior men's competition, but there's actually women that play in that competition as well. So, in fact, not one of the Baycats players, but one of the Melbourne-based players was actually signed by college this year. So Genevieve Beacon, she actually played for Melbourne Aces. So there's absolute opportunity for the elite and the not so elite to play this great game.
I think one of the fantastic things for the Geelong Baycats is that you get to enjoy some of the best baseball facilities that our country has to offer.
Absolutely, yeah. We are very, very lucky to have we think arguably, if not the best, one of the best facilities in the country, and it's in our backyard, which makes it actually hard for some of our kids because they look at this thing and sometimes they take it for granted and go somewhere else and they're effectively playing on sheep paddocks. And it's a great facility. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication from our volunteers as well, and we obviously get fantastic support from the City of Greater Geelong, which makes it great. So it's really good.
I'm speaking with the president of the Geelong Baycats Baseball Club in Adam Renouf. And I think it would be remiss of us not to make mention of the fact that there have been some pretty high calibre players actually come out of our region historically. So can you take us through some of the great names that have come through Geelong baseball?
Well, probably the greatest is the wise man himself, which is Graham Lloyd. Graham Lloyd's obviously a Geelong native, won a couple of World Series, played for the New York Yankees, obviously, so one of the biggest teams on earth. And another Geelong local was Josh Spence. So Josh Spence also was a major league player. And not only Josh, but his brother was also then signed last year or the year before last into a professional program as well. So we're exceptionally lucky to get that level of elite players. So far we've only had 2 that have been in the major league level, obviously Lloydie and Josh, but we would have had at least 20 other players that have been signed into the major league systems and played a variety of minor league teams. A number that have played for Australia. We actually had 2 young Geelong players in the Australian, so the under-16 Australian side last week. They just got back last week. And significant number in state representation. We really, really, really do bat above our weight in both the men's and women's competition.
And Adam, I imagine that whilst a lot of people are focusing their attention on the AFL Grand Final later this afternoon, it will be only 7 days away until the start of the season for the Geelong Baycats.
Yes, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? It's a fantastic opportunity to sit there. have a couple of beers and get everything ready. But for us, it's nearly the sort of the pre-season starter to getting ready for getting for our first round. And it's like all sports, I suppose, cricket clubs or footy clubs or even netball clubs or whatever. The hardest part's getting everybody ready to get them on the ground, make sure they're registered, make sure they're not going to do any hamstrings, all those sorts of things. So, yeah, it's an exciting time for us.
Well, very exciting indeed, and exciting for me to have the opportunity to speak with you about the Geelong Bay Cats. I look forward to having more to do with you across the course of the summer, and I look forward to catching up with you again in future weeks.
Thanks, Wes. I appreciate your time.
This is The Big Picture in Sport on 96.3, the heart of Geelong, Werribee and the Surf Coast. More sport to come. Stay with me.